Hey, beautiful soul. How are you feeling today? I've been sitting with a question for you this week. What happens when a soul goes unfed? And I'm not sure that I have the answer to that. In fact, the longer I sit with that question, the less I feel the need to answer it, and the more I find myself wanting to live inside of it. We spend so much time taking care of our bodies. Nourishment, hydration, sleep, movement. And we feed our minds with books and podcasts and courses and ideas. And we spend a great deal of our lives tending to our responsibilities, don't we? Our families, our work, our calendars, all the things that require our attention. And that led me to wonder about something because, well, you know how my mind works. I just keep wondering. And I don't think that soul hunger always looks the way that we expect it to. Sometimes it feels like restlessness, doesn't it? Or maybe it's picking up your phone without really knowing why. And sometimes it's standing in the middle of a perfectly good day with the feeling that something's missing. Not because anything is wrong that you can put your finger on, and not because your life is falling apart either. Just a quiet sense that you've been drifting a little too far from something that really matters. And maybe that's why soul hunger can be so difficult to recognize. Because it doesn't always show up as sadness, and it doesn't always look like burnout. Sometimes it arrives with a strange kind of flatness. I mean, honestly, you can have a full calendar, a productive week, a wonderful weekend, and you can spend time with great people and still find yourself wondering why something feels missing. Not because the experience wasn't meaningful, and not because you weren't grateful for it. I think it's because there's a difference between being busy and being nourished. There's a difference between doing things and being deeply connected to them. And honestly, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. How easy it is to fill our days and still miss ourselves. And how easy it is to keep moving from one thing to the next without stopping long enough to ask what is actually feeding us. Maybe that's what soul hunger feels like. Not a crisis, not a collapse, just a quiet awareness that something inside of you is asking for a deeper kind of nourishment. It's a longing, really, isn't it? And again, that leads me to wonder how many of us have mistaken soul hunger for a lack of motivation or loneliness or boredom or all of the above. Or the feeling that we just need one more answer, one more solution, or one more thing to figure it all out. When perhaps what the soul is really asking for has nothing to do with any of those things. What if it's simply asking to be nurtured? Not with more productivity or achievement, not with another problem to solve, but with beauty and splendor, with meaning, and yes, stillness. With those moments that remind us of who we are beneath everything that we do. Because the older I get, the more I notice that my soul is nourished by surprisingly simple things. A walk without my phone. The scent of mock orange blossoms in the evening air. A meaningful conversation. Or a quiet meditation. A moment when life slows down long enough for me to actually notice how I'm living it. And trust me, none of those things would ever show up on our productivity tracker. Yet, somehow, they leave me feeling more alive than almost anything else. And that, my friend, makes me wonder about you. How do you feed your soul? Not your schedule, not your obligations, and not everyone around you. You. What restores you? What helps you remember who you are? And that's the question I'd love for us to explore together this week. Not rushing toward an answer, just listening, paying attention, staying curious. So over the next few days, I'll be sharing a series of intentions and reflections around this idea of soul hunger. Small moments to pause, reflect, and notice what truly feeds you. Because I don't think the soul needs a perfect answer. Sometimes it simply needs a little space to be heard. The door is open, my friend.